it's a complicated world out there, and we have a large footprint. We operate in many markets, all regions around the world, and so being able to effectively manage crisis markets is critical because we have large businesses in many of these markets, whether it's in Egypt or Pakistan or Ukraine or Argentina, Venezuela. Historically, these are very complicated markets, and first and foremost, I think we've developed a pretty good system internally, what we call an early warning system, that we distribute to key leaders in the company, where we're out gathering macroeconomic and geopolitical information on markets where we operate in around the world, and try to gauge whether or not we might see a crisis coming. Okay, and that gives us the opportunity to sort of get in front of these markets and figure out how do we want to manage these, and how the business wants to manage them. And so I think that early warning system has been a very good that's been a good tool for us. And then once we see things coming on, or whether we don't see them coming on, once a market's hit crisis mode, and we can define that many different ways, okay, but once it hits it, it becomes critical that we in Treasury, and frankly tax, are tied to the hip with our business partners to make sure we're making the right short, mid, and longer term decisions as it relates to the market. Okay, and so whether there's a lack of foreign, hard currency in a market to be able to pay for imports, whether it's capital controls on the ability to extract profit out. We've seen all kinds of different ways that governments are trying to protect themselves to deal with a crisis that's underway or they're in the middle of. It takes us philosophically changing how we think about managing the business, where maybe our management's typically a P&L focused company. For internal management purposes, we move away from that and try to focus on cash and try to preserve cash and protect cash to the greatest extent we can. And that takes sometimes a different philosophical approach to how we run the market, which requires close collaboration between Treasury and the business.